Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Troy Clayton, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Major Roy Henry in his last official duty in uniform after 23 years of devoted service to our nation. Sir, we thank you and your family for your service. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We also acknowledge the members of the RSL and Services Club Association, RSL Victoria, and RSL Queensland who are watching the ceremony broadcast across Australia. During the ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors as well as students on behalf of Trinity Christian School from Waniasa, ACT. Please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Flight Sergeant Maurice Hasard Wilson. Born in Brisbane on the 11th of July 1923, Wilson was the son of Robert and Ida Wilson. Growing up, the young Wilson attended Graceville State School and Talinga State School before going to Brisbane Boys College. A keen sportsman, he played tennis, cricket and football, as well as taking part in rowing and athletics. When he finished school, Wilson undertook further tuition to qualify as an insurance clerk at the Halifax Insurance Company in Eagle Farm, Brisbane. On the 10th of November 1941, at the age of 18, Wilson enlisted in the Royal Australian Air Force and began training as a pilot. On the 6th of March 1943, Wilson embarked in Melbourne for overseas service. As part of the Empire Air Training Scheme, Wilson was one of almost 27,500 Royal Australian Air Force pilots, navigators, wireless operators, gunners and engineers who, throughout the course of the war, joined squadrons based in Britain. After arriving in Britain in April 1943, Wilson undertook further specialist training before being posted on the 7th of June 1944 to number 611 Squadron, Royal Air Force. Number 611 Squadron was a fighter squadron equipped with Spitfires. At the time when Wilson joined the squadron, just a day after the D-Day Normandy landings on the 6th of June, the squadron was based at RAF Deanland in Sussex. After about a week with the squadron, Wilson was undertaking a patrol over the landing area in Normandy in support of the Allied ground forces, providing fighter cover for other aircraft. He was shot down by enemy fighters south of Caen in the Boozy area. In a letter to Wilson's mother, the commanding officer of number 611 Squadron wrote, "When some 25 miles southwest of Caen, the squadron ran into a formation of German fighters who slightly outnumbered us. A general dogfight ensued, and your son called onto the radio to say that he was hit. 2 members of the squadron saw his aircraft being attacked by a Messerschmitt 109, but they were heavily engaged at the time and could not come to his assistance, nor did they see what happened to him subsequently." Maurice Wilson was killed in action at the age of 20. His body was recovered from the wreckage of his Spitfire, and he was buried in the communal cemetery in the small village of Coulay-Patry, 26 kilometres southwest of Caen. Wilson's name is listed here on the Roll of Honour on my left, amongst almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. A photograph of his headstone is displayed beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Flight Sergeant Maurice Hasard Wilson, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down and in the sun, we will remember them.
lest we forget.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub of Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. We'd like to thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial and wish you all a very good evening. Thank you.